Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another Gadget Friday, and boy have I got a cool product for you today. It's the OmniCase Pro USB-C hub from our good friends over at JSAUX that allows you to instantly connect a wide variety of external peripherals and memory cards to either your laptop or your home computer through a single USB-C port. It also has one other really clever feature built into it that I think you're going to love, and I'll explain that in a minute. Now, if you own one of the newer laptops, you've probably noticed that over the years, manufacturers have struggled to make them thinner and lighter and more portable, and that's a really good thing. But the challenge is, as the laptops have gotten thinner, companies have had to eliminate a lot of the common connections that we would find on older laptops. So things like an HDMI connection for an external monitor, or a LAN port where you can connect it to a wired network, or even USB-A ports that you might be using with cameras or microphones that are a little bit older, have all kind of disappeared in these newer laptops. So this laptop, which is one I use a lot, has two USB-C ports on the one side and a single USB-A port over here, which really limits what I can connect to it. Even worse, one of those USB-C ports is used for charging the laptop. So if I plug it into a charger, I'm down to a single USB-C port and a single USB-A port, and that makes it really difficult to connect a camera and a microphone and a few other peripherals to it when I'm working at home. And that's exactly what a hub like this is designed to help with, where it takes a single USB-C port and expands it to a wide variety of other ports so you can connect up all your peripherals. And the best part about a hub like this is that it's got pass-through charging, which means I'll use a single USB-C port connected to the laptop, and I've got another USB-C port on there that I can connect the charger up to, and it'll actually charge my laptop through the hub, so I don't have to give up that single USB-C port. Now, the hub itself has got a wide variety of connections like I'd mentioned, but before I get into those, I wanted to do a brief unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit so you understand exactly what you get if you purchase the product. For starters, you get the hub. It's a 7-in-1 hub. There's a lot of connections there, and I'll go through them in a minute. You also get a really nice carrying case, and I think that's a nice touch that JSAUX has built in. It's a really heavy-duty case. It's got a nice Velcro seal on it. You can drop the hub inside of it. That way, when you throw it in your laptop bag, if you're on the road, you're not going to scratch it up and bang it up. You'll also find an owner's manual and a quick start guide. So everything you need to get started is included with the kit. Now the hub itself is pretty straightforward. You've got an external USB-C connection here that you can use for an external power supply. The nice thing is it's a PD compatible cable, which means you can use a high powered supply up to 100 watts to charge your laptop. That'll also supply power to all the other ports that require power. On the other side, you've got another USB-C port here, which connects up to your laptop, so you can use a USB-C to USB-C to actually make the connection. Next to that, you've got an HDMI port. That's a full-size HDMI port for an external monitor, and that'll support 4K at 30 frames a second, so it's a very sophisticated port. Next to that, you've got a LAN connection. If you're going to use a wired LAN connection, that's a gigabit connection. So you'll get the fastest possible connection to your network if you're at home or you're at the office and you want to use a wired connection. On the other side, you'll find two USB-A ports. Those are full-sized USB-As that are 3.0, which means you're going to get tremendously fast data transfer connecting to an external hard drive or an external peripheral. They can also supply power to those external devices as well. So if you're using a portable hard drive, you'll have power from that port to run that hard drive. To the right of that are two memory card slots. You've got a full-size SD card slot for the older cards, camera cards, and things like that. And you've got a micro SD card slot for newer cameras and action cameras and things like that, which is also a TF port. So both of those ports will work at 104 megabits a second, which is incredibly fast, and both of them can be active at the same time. Now the cool thing that I talked about before, the clever design feature, is that a lot of times you're in the field and you want to connect up to your laptop, and maybe you've forgotten the cable you need to make the connection to your laptop, or maybe the cable's bad. Well, they thought of that, and the reason the top of this has got a little bit of a bow to it is because it actually comes off. It's magnetically attached, it slides off, and inside there is a collection of cables. And it's not just a couple of cables, it's every possible cable you could need to connect this to your laptop and connect a bunch of external devices to it. So inside here, and I'll show you this in a close-up in a little bit, there's a USB-C to USB-C that you can use to connect this to your laptop. There's also a USB-C to an Apple connection. So if you want to charge your iPhone off this, your iPad off it, it's built in. But also included are adapters. So there's one adapter that will turn that USB-C into a micro USB. So if you're charging another device that uses USB-C, you can use the cable directly, but if you want to charge a device that uses micro USB, you can slide that adapter on the end and use that. If you need to plug something in that's a full-size USB-A, they also include a USB-A male to a USB-C female, so you can plug it in the end of the cable and turn it into a USB-A cable. So all that's built in. There's also a SIM card release right there, so you can use that if you got to pop a SIM card or a memory card out of your device. I think that's really brilliant in a lot of ways because taking this along in the case means that I've got the hub I need using it on the road. I've also got all the cables I could possibly need to connect it to my laptop and connect a bunch of stuff up to it. Now, if you stay tuned, next what I'll do is take a closer look at the hub and again go through those connections and explain the performance and specifications you can expect. And then I'll come back at the end and just point out a few things that really make this special when you compare it to other hubs on the market, because there are a lot of companies that make these kind of portable hubs, but there are some features and specifications that JSAUX has built into this one that really separate it from a lot of the other hubs that are on the market. So stay tuned for the closer look next. On the top of the OmniCase Pro hub is the cable kit, and it's magnetically attached to the hub, so it's not going to pop off on its own, but if you need to use it, you can gently slide it forward and then flip it over and you'll see all the cables and adapters that are included with the kit. And I think JSAUX has given you pretty much everything you need to connect virtually anything externally to the hub or to your computer. Now, included with the kit is a USB-C to USB-C cable, which is great for connecting the hub to your laptop or connecting a newer device that uses USB-C to the hub. Also included is a USB-C to Apple cable, and that allows you to connect iPhones and iPads up to the hub or your computer. And they also include two adapters. This is a female USB-C to micro USB, and that's used with older peripherals that you can connect up to the hub or your laptop to charge or transfer data. And then finally, a USB-A to a female USB-C that can pop on the end of one of these cables and allows you to connect it up to older USB-A ports. They also include a tool that can be used to pull SIM cards and memory cards out of different devices. And again, it's a beautiful way to sort of hold it together, and that way when you take this with you, you know you have the hub and the cables you'll need to connect everything up. Now, as far as ports go, on the one end you'll find a USB-C port, and that connects up to your computer, and that's the only connection you'll need to activate all of the ports in the hub. To the right of that is a full-size HDMI port. That'll support an external monitor with resolutions up to 4K at 30 frames a second. To the right of that is a full-size LAN port that supports gigabit E LAN connections, which is the fastest connection you can make. So if you need a wired connection, just plug it in there. On the one end is another USB-C port, and that's used with an external power supply. That will support a PD power supply up to 100 watts, which is more than enough power to power the hub and charge your laptop at the same time. On the other side, you'll find two full-size USB-A ports. These are USB 3.0, which is the fastest data transfer speeds available today. They can also support external power for devices like portable hard drives and other peripherals that require power. To the left of those are two memory card slots, a full-size SD and a micro SD. Both of these slots are active at the same time, which means you can have an SD card in and a micro SD card in and actually transfer data to your computer or between the cards. And also, it's the fastest data transfer available today. And that's pretty much it for a closer look at the hub. I hope you found that closer look helpful. And now I'd like to point out a few key things that really make this OmniCase Pro USB-C hub from JSAUX pretty special when you compare it to other hubs on the market. And for me, the first thing, which is pretty obvious, is the carrier and the cables and connectors they've included with the kit, because that tells me the company was thinking about how I'm going to use the hub. They know I have to connect it to my laptop. They know I'm also going to connect a bunch of peripherals to the hub or even to my laptop, and they've included cables to accommodate that. Now, they could have just thrown a bunch of cables in with the kit, and you'd have thrown them in the bottom of your computer bag, and I promise you, when you needed to use them, they're probably going to be missing. So the fact that they took the extra step to build a carrier, make it really clever like they did here, and also make it compatible with the hub where it's magnetically attached at the top is just brilliant, because it means all I have to do is take this with me, and I know that I've got every cable I'll ever need to connect the hub to my laptop and connect a wide variety of peripherals to the hub. So good on JSAUX. That's a really interesting design feature, which I think right out of the gate separates it from most of the hubs on the market. Now, in addition to that, it's a 7-in-1 hub, which means you've got a lot of connections outside that the minute you connect it to your laptop, all of those connections become active. And I'll start on this side with the two USB-A ports. A lot of hubs on the market offer USB-A ports like this. The key thing to remember is these are USB 3.0, which means they're the latest standard, fastest data transfer between the hub and external devices. They're also externally powered, which means if you're connecting a portable hard drive or something else that needs power from that port, both of those ports have external power. So you're getting the fastest data transfer speeds as well as external power. You also have two memory card connections right here, a full-size SD card, which is used on most cameras, most digital cameras, and a micro SD card, which is used on a lot of portable devices. I use both of those memory cards, so having a hub where I can plug those cards in and transfer the data to my computer is a really big plus. What's different about this hub than a lot of other hubs on the market is that you can use both cards at the same time, 104 megabits a second, and you're getting the fastest data transfer to your computer. But the fact that I can use both ports at the same time means I can transfer data between those cards, which I can't do on a lot of other hubs on the market. I love the fact that there's a USB-C port in the end for an external power supply. And again, it's a PD compatible port. It'll handle up to 100 watts of external power. A lot of the hubs in the market offer an external port for power, but they limit you to 45 watts or 60 watts, which will charge your laptop, but it really won't provide a lot of external power for peripherals that you'll connect up. So up to 100 watts right there. And again, fully PD compatible. On the other side, you've got another USB-C port here that's used to connect to your laptop. And again, you can use the cables included or any cable you want that's USB-C to USB-C. Next to that is a full-size HDMI port. That's connecting an external monitor to the hub. Nice thing about that, again, compared to other hubs, is it's a 4K at 30 frames a second. So you're going to get full HD external monitor connections off that. Some of the other hubs are only 1080p or they're lower resolutions. So the fact that I can use a high resolution monitor and connect it there and get a really good picture is important to me. And last, that full-size Ethernet port is a gigabit Ethernet, which means you're going to get the fastest data transfer speeds over that wired connection. A lot of the other hubs on the market are slower connections. They're not going to give you that full gig-y connection out there. So for me, they've done everything they can to build the most modern hub with the latest standards and highest performance specifications, and they built it in a package that makes it easy to take it along. The fact that they include cables on the top is, again, just brilliant. And they also give you a nice little carrying case that you can pop it into and take it with you. So if you knock it over like I just did, it's not going to get scratched up. Anyway, I like it an awful lot, and I appreciate you watching. So hopefully you found this review helpful. And until next time, stay nerdy.